Record, ready?
Ready, it's recording.
Okay, so today I'm here with Manuel Corral from Gem Mortgage. Alright, so Manuel, you're located in Pomona.
Yes.
Just give us a brief background about yourself, how long you've been in the business for, all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, I've been in the business since March the 17th of 1985, actually. March 17, 1985. It's been long since I've been in the industry. But I actually started off as a real estate agent in 1979. I was a real estate agent from 1979 to 1985 before I got into the lending business. I've been with Golden Empire Mortgage. This June 5th of 2017 will be 21 years with the company.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
Can I give you my date so you can keep track of all this stuff for me? Because I'm the worst at dates. When people tell me, like, you know, about starting times, I'm like, 2009 somewhere? You know, and that's the farthest I can remember. But wow, that says a lot about yourself for being in the business for such a long time. Today we're kind of going over the 10 tips to get your offer accepted.
Okay, awesome.
And, you know, in this business, what have you seen has changed over the years? You know, let's say just take the business back 10 years ago versus what it is today. You know, as far as from the perspective of a realtor's job, you know, what they're doing today versus what they weren't, maybe what has changed over the past 10 years.
The business is extremely competitive right now, and realtors today versus realtors 10 years ago are just so much more equipped. What we're doing with all of our borrowers, and one thing I would suggest is get everybody not only pre-approved, let's take it to the next step. Let's go out and get them credit approved. What does that mean? That means that all we really need is an open escrow, an appraisal, and we're ready to submit for loan approval. Okay? In actuality, if we get the loan credit approved, we're just fine-tuning the approval. Okay, and so being competitive, being ahead of the game is critical right now. So get your buyers in early. Let's get them pre-approved. Let's have a pre-qualification conversation. Let's bring them to the office. Let's have a professional consultation. Let's get them pre-approved. And so we can set the stage to get your offer accepted. Because in today's competitive environment, if you can close in 25 days or less, you're ahead of the game.
Right.
You're ahead of the game.
Yep. So the approval process is what you're talking about is extremely important. What makes, have you seen a difference out there from agents, you know, referring you business and then going into escrow versus maybe, you know, getting their offers accepted versus you might have heard people using other types of mortgage companies, and you know, can you kind of expand on that a little bit? I mean, we're just briefly talking about a mortgage company out on the East Coast versus somebody that's being utilizing locally.
Well, number one, you want to use a local lender. And you want to use a lender that has a track record, for sure.
Track record is
Right.
important.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
a proven track record. Let's
Right.
even take it another step.
Mhm.
So you want to use a lender that has a proven track record locally. You want to use the local appraisers,
Mhm.
okay? One of the reasons that's important is because if you have to outsource your appraisers, then, you know, we don't know how long they're going to take to get the appraisal done. If you don't have a relationship with the appraisal staff, you can run into some complications. So this is all part of being more competitive, being able to get stuff done quickly and upfront.
Right. You know, so one of the things that I realized working with you over the years is utilizing your company to really get our offers accepted. I would say probably 1 out of 3 of my offers, I know I'm going to get accepted. And I leverage your experience to do that. You know, so one of the things that I do, and you know, if you're a realtor out there listening, watching this, is that, you know, you really want to make sure that approval process is buttoned down. And so one of the things that I do with our agents on our team is I teach them how to gain a lot of trust with their clients, because that trust, that's what we pass on to you.
Right.
And then you meet with these folks, and you guys do a thorough process with that, which allows us to present stronger offers. And I'm not just talking about higher price points, because a lot of times we get our offers accepted that are lower than the highest offer out there. But it's really the team that comes together, including yourself and everybody out at your company, that allows us to get these offers accepted.
Yeah.
So it's not always the highest offer that gets.
No, not always the highest. Sometimes it's the offer that can close the quickest. With the
Close the
least
quickest,
amount of red
right.
tape.
Right.
Okay, right? So if it's a clean offer, realtors know today, if it's a clean offer, you have a better chance of getting your offer accepted. So one of the things that we're in the business of doing, we're in the business of preparing borrowers to purchase homes. That's what we do. We do a lot of prep work, a lot of mentoring, a lot of coaching, a lot of education, and that's a big deal for the consumer who's walking in, who's maybe never purchased a home before. They need a lot of guidance, a lot of coaching. And that's what we do at our consultation.
Right.
Set the stage for success by getting them pre-approved and pre-qualified up front.
Right. And one of the things I always do is with my clients is I always encourage them to go meet with you like face to face versus just doing this stuff over the phone, because going over the phone, you're just really a commodity at that point, or a shopper.
Right.
And we want to turn that shopper into a client. And the only way you could really do that is if you sit down with somebody and take them through the process of buying a house, and that's going to gain their trust. And that, therefore, price is secondary. Rates are secondary, you know. And if they're so concerned with price, then the odds are of that deal falling apart in escrow, it's just huge. So
Right.
we really encourage all of our buyers to sit down with you and talk to you face to face. That way they walk away feeling really confident that they can really trust you, like us as well, because they look at you as part of our team. And if they walk away feeling like this is the person that's going to help us buy the home, price becomes secondary. And therefore we get less shoppers shopping us at the last minute. It's a smoother transaction. So one thing I do know for sure is over the years of using you, again, I'm bad with dates, but it's been about 5-6 years probably by
It's
now.
probably been more like 7.
7 years, see that? 7 years. He knows the dates.
I do.
He knows the
I do.
dates. But the thing is that the buyers, they're kind of lost. They really don't know.
Right.
They spend a lot of time on the internet researching. So at that point, they look at a mortgage loan officer as a commodity until you turn that around, until you create a need out of yourself. And that's what I train our realtors to do on our team. So when we pass on that relationship to you, I would say 95 to almost 100% of all of our FHA buyers, we can really get them to go talk to you because we know our closing ratio is really high. Can you recall like a deal actually falling apart and not going forward because you guys met with them and it just didn't turn out? I mean, it doesn't really happen too often.
Not really.
Yeah.
Not if we do our jobs properly.
Right.
Let me just say this. I want to back up for a minute. When we meet with customers face to face, it allows us to build rapport. It allows us to build trust. It allows us to engage the customer one-on-one on the things that are most important to them. It allows us to get to their expectations of the meeting. What are they trying to accomplish? It allows us to get to what we call the core values of every customer. Every customer has a set of core values, the things that are the most important to them. When we can uncover those things and pull those out, then we can really begin now to design a mortgage that's centered around helping them achieve all their goals. It's not so much about price. It's really more about advice and building the right strategic plan for each consumer. That's what I wanted to say right off the top, because that's critical.
Right, that is so critical. And
It's a
that's
big
where all
deal.
that trust is developed at.
You can't do that
And-
sometimes over the phone in a 10-minute
Right.
phone call.
I don't believe it can really happen over the phone. I've
Not-
seen it, over and over where it just doesn't turn out the same.
Right, not at the level that we need to in order to be successful with our clients.
Exactly.
And for their own good.
Right. And the success that we're talking about is one, getting that offer accepted. Number two, closing that thing without the least hassle involved with that buyer. So if we could do a really good job up front, then we close on time, we have less problems in escrow, and the buyer walks away extremely happy. So that's a major point right there. So yeah, I was just kind of reviewing this right here. Putting larger monies down on FHA loans, you could actually do that, huh?
You can, it doesn't, it depends on the consumer. It's about $7 per thousand. So if
Okay.
you put down another $10,000, it's about $70 savings.